Welcome back to Five Vibes Podcast, episode 20. We are glad to be back. Sorry for the little hiatus. We were busy with life and many other things going on. But Devin, good to see you. Good to hear from you. How's everything been? How would you rate the BMF card? I have a whole bunch of lists of questions for you, but I guess let's start off with that one. How would you think of the Oliveira and Holloway fight? Even though I kind of already know your answer to this.
Uh, I personally thought Max was gonna win. I thought it was gonna be a more fun fight. Perfect game plan by Oliveira. Like, if you're trying to win a fight and get back to the title, perfect game plan. And he just came and out muscled Max. Like most of those takedowns, to be honest, weren't even technical. He just walked Max down, grabbed him, picked him up, threw him down, and just held him down. And Max couldn't do anything. So, perfect game plan. Not something you typically want to see in a BML belt fight, but
Yeah.
it was a great game plan. Something I wasn't expecting because Oliveira usually tends to play into the firefights until things get bad, and then he grapples. Um, it seemed like from the start he just went at Max and took him down.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised by the game plan. I was just surprised on how well he honestly executed it. I guess we've known that Max hasn't had necessarily the greatest takedown defense and all that good stuff. But like what you were saying, it wasn't even technical takedowns. Like it was just Oliveira legit lifting him up like a bag of potatoes and then just dropping him and then looking for
Yep.
a sub. So it's just I don't know. It's kind of one of those things like you were saying, not the most exciting thing. Definitely dominant. Definitely impressive. And I guess some people were really kind of shitting on Holloway or not Holloway, Oliveira for that performance because they were like, well, you couldn't even submit Max Holloway. It's like, well, when has Max really ever been submitted besides the Poirier fight? I can't remember outside of that, like whenever he's really been submitted. And I mean, even then, it's a young Max. He's had plenty of time to work on that ground game, and it definitely showed. I was surprised on how well he was, you know, defending every single submission defense or every submission attempt that Oliveira was putting on him, and I was impressed with Max's defense more than anything. But yeah, it definitely was not the most entertaining BMF fight, and it was funny kind of seeing fighters be like, should we put parameters on these fights now? Like, we need to make some guidelines so that this shit doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. It was surprising how well Max did, in, like you said, in the grappling defense. But to be honest, I always thought Max had good takedown defense.
Well, I mean, again, I think it's just more of Oliveira out muscling him than anything,
Yeah.
and again, he was even doing that with Chandler, dude. And that was kind of my biggest fear was that Oliveira was going to have that strength factor and be able to take down Holloway just with a brute force pretty much just without even techniquing it. But I don't know. I thought Max's footwork was going to be able to get him out of the way of that a bit easier. I was definitely wrong on that, and
Yeah.
even I don't. I feel like maybe I'm overlooking this, or not overlooking this, but like I don't know, overthinking this. I thought Max had decent exchanges in the beginning of round 1 and 2, maybe 3. I can't remember exactly, but I know definitely for round 1 and 2, he had decent exchanges for the first like. I mean, it's not really dumb of me to say. For the first like 30 seconds, 30 a
Yeah.
minute maybe, and he was hitting Oliveira, but I think just with that takedown threat, man, it's amazing on how much a takedown threat can change uh, just the outcome of a fight in general. If this was standing only, holy shit, what a war that would have been, and more than likely a win for Max. But yeah, I mean, this is MMA, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah. No, and it was perfectly executed by Charles. I mean, like you said, Max, I think he did have success on the feet, and that's why Charles didn't want to play into that. I think it was like the opening sequence. Like you
hmm
could see that Max touched him up a little bit, and then from then on, Oliveira was like, "Yep, to the ground."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, And again, I thought Max's footwork was going to do him a little bit better in that, but I mean, Oliveira's so strong, man. That dude has put on some muscle, some power. I mean, a little bit of everything. It's been fun to watch, but especially this kind of, I guess, second run that he's been having in the lightweight division. But what do you do with Holloway next? Like in your opinion, like you're matchmaking, UFC matchmaking on Monday or Tuesday, whatever fucking day they do that, and they're asking you, what do you do with Max Holloway next? What's your answer? Because I can't really think of anything that I could do with them right now.
Uh, bring back Dustin Poirier for
Fuck it.
another rematch.
Dude, at this rate, the UFC's gonna do that. At this rate, oh my god.
But I saw Poirier was talking about it, so I mean, there's a possibility.
Yeah,
Um,
I hope not
I don't know,
personally.
man. Put him put him in there with fun fights. I think, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
guys like if Rufy wins, um, put him in there with Rufy. Put him in there with Dan Hooker. Fights like that that'll be entertaining.
I like that Dan
Uh,
Hooker fight.
yeah, I think that would be a fun fight. If you wanted to, you could see, Patty in there with him. See if Patty has another push toward making a title run. If he can get past Max, I don't know.
I wonder if he would be able to muscle down Max the way that Holloway did, or sorry, muscle down, yeah, Max the way that Oliveira did. Excuse me.
See, Patty doesn't. He doesn't have takedowns like that. Like when you watch his fights, he doesn't shoot takedowns like that.
Hmm.
He just kind of. It seems like he almost just happens to be in grappling scenarios. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that was something that I definitely heard like a lot of people bring up before the Gaethje fight. It was all like Patty doesn't really engage in a lot of these grappling exchanges. He's just kind of like someone falls and like he's just like, yeah, oh fuck it, and it's kind of falls
yeah,
on them and shit. And so like, yeah, I kind of wonder if that same thing would play into Holloway. I mean, because I don't think Holloway's gonna be falling down that easily. The guy's
no.
always had pretty solid balance and whatnot, but yeah, I just I don't know what you do, Holloway. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts right now. I feel like in the lightweight division, especially with kind of Armand waiting, and then you have the Patty and not Patty. Kind of all my names mixed up tonight. Jesus. Um, you have Gaethje and Ilya, fighting in the White House card, and again Armand has no idea. Oliveira. I mean, I think you do Oliveira and Armand personally. I don't think it's for a BMF belt or anything like that, but I think you just do it just to kind of keep Armand active for one, and then Armand active for one, and then also, I mean, you get Holloway going again. I mean, and it's possible he. Oh my god, I am getting all my names mixed up tonight. Holy shit! Back to what I was saying. I think that the lightweight division has a lot going on right now, and I think that the top of the division is a little scrambled. Um,
Yeah.
I think you need to have Oliveira and Armand fight each other. I think you need to have Holloway fight, like what you were saying, someone fun, someone kind of that can get that entertainment value back into the lightweight division again. Um, you have Ilya and Gaethje fighting each other at the White House. I mean, I really can't think of anything else. I mean, besides like the Beneil and Salakid fight that got announced, or I guess Salakid, replacing Torres, right? I think Torres was the one originally fighting Benny.
Yeah, I think it was Torres.
Yeah. And so there's just not a whole lot moving in between them right now, I feel like. And it's just normal lightweight division problems, just staying stagnant.
And then you have Rufy facing who's Rufy?
Rufy was facing,
It's a fun fight.
yeah, who was it? Let me look real quick. Because that was a solid
Oh,
fight.
it's Michael Chandler on the White House card.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So,
Which what I I think that I know they're giving Chandler like a favor for all the time he waited.
yeah.
It's gonna be a fun fight, but that in the rankings of this doesn't make a whole lot of sense for for Rufy, to be honest with me. Like he should be looking to go up.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised they even gave him the physique fight um, after they, after the whole loss to BSD. But
No.
I mean, he performed well in that one, looked good, and I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised they're not giving him a higher ranked opponent next rather than Michael Chandler. But I guess they're just in the business of right now, at least they are, and I hate it so much. But they're just in the business of getting those highlights, and I mean, Riffy for sure can get a highlight on Michael Chandler. There's no way he
Oh
can't.
fuck yeah.
And I mean, that's just all it's about, I think. And
What was Chandler's last fight?
Chandler's last fight was Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Um.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah. Was it like in the summer or some shit?
But I feel like just because of the whole Conor McGregor thing that he hasn't fought in 2 years.
Yeah. No. That's fucking felt like it with how much as he talks about it. I'm just kind of like, what the fuck, man? Like, you have to get over it.
I know. Did
You
the
have
whole
to.
Ultimate Fighter and everything and nothing.
See, that's where I felt bad for Chandler was that, like, okay, you spent all that time doing the Ultimate Fighter, coaching those guys, and being a part of them and all that good stuff, and then just for it not to even come close to becoming a real fight, like, that's got to be super annoying if you're Chandler.
Especially with how much shit McGregor was talking the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you didn't give me a chance to fucking like fight you for what you've been saying to me. Like, come on now, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But
But I would have loved to see Rufy. I think with this Max Holloway loss, Max didn't take any damage.
mhm.
I think that would have been a perfect time for a guy like Rufy to make his call to Holloway. And I think Holloway would have accepted that because he knows it's a stand up fight, it would be fun.
Yeah,
And Max is game for anything.
yeah, for sure. I mean, and I guess like the only issue was that this card got announced during that card,
Yeah, I
and
know.
I'm with you though. I wish they waited and kind of would have seen the outcome of this because if, like you said, if neither one of them took that much damage and or the loser didn't take that much damage, Ruffy easily could have fought one of these two guys, and that would have been a solid fight on the White House card compared to some of the shit that we got on there. But yeah,
Now,
Ruffy could for sure
Matt,
make a jump big after this Chandler fight.
oh, especially if he finishes Chandler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Now,
100%.
as far as Oliveira, I like your matchup that you said with Armin. I think Armin does deserve a title shot,
Uh huh.
but being that Charles and Armin ended in what was it, split decision last fight.
The closest split decision you can get. Like
So
that thing easily could have been a draw.
I think that's a good fight to run back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would like to see that and to see who's going to be a title contender. Because I mean, to be honest, I'd like to see Charles get back in there if he wins against Ilya. See if hopefully he doesn't get starched again.
Oh, from Ilya.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it was kind of funny. We were talking about that during the watch party for Oliveira and Holloway, and I know you had mentioned that Oliveira probably should have used that same game plan against Taporia, and then we were talking about it quite a bit on there, and I would love to revisit that conversation real quick because I think, especially, I watched that fight again, the Ilya and Oliveira fight, and
yeah,
Oliveira rushed in there. I mean, he definitely brought that same game plan and was almost trying to be the bigger man in there. But Ilya's balance, man, we have to say that's one of his, in a weird way, that's one of his best like attributes. It's insane on how
yeah.
much balance that guy has, and for Oliveira to muscle him pretty much to the ground just for Ilya to go nope, just end up on top anyways was it's insane, man. That guy has so much skill and so much in his arsenal. I mean, that guy is truly an all around mixed martial artist, and um, I yeah, I think I think Ilya is a bad matchup for 99% of the roster. It's just one of those
Well,
things.
looking back at that fight also with between Oliveira and Ilya, Oliveira he did rush in, he went for that takedown, and he got reversed, and Ilya ended up on top. Um, Crucifixed him and started dropping some heavy ground and pound.
Mm-hmm.
I think after that happened, Oliveira completely abandoned that game plan and just
Yeah.
decided to stand. I think if he would have tried to get past the fact like, oh, this guy just reverse position and kind of beat me in my own game. Keep the game plan. Don't get away from it. I think he could have gotten Ilya down if he stuck to that game plan because he did have a huge size advantage on Ilya.
Mm-hmm. I think the
I
only
think
thing that helps Oliveira on the ground is just that there's no chance of getting really knocked out from a single shot and not have to worry about being put away just out of nowhere. There's always submissions that can come out of nowhere and whatnot, but I think with just how aware Oliveira is and how aware Topuria is, the likelihood of a finish coming out of nowhere from one of those guys on the ground is pretty unlikely in my opinion. But I think at the same time, like I don't know. I think Ilya
that
is
was his,
just so
I think that's
strong
his
down
path
there.
to
Yeah.
he's strong, but I think Oliveira's path to victory would have been continuing to try and get him down,
Hmm.
work your ground game, take his back. And if you can't finish him, do what you just did to Max and hold him until you get a decision win. Because
Yeah.
you're not going to beat all or Ilya in a stand up fight. We've seen how your chin is in a stand up. You do not you can knock guys out, but in almost all the fights that you've won here recently at the top of lightweight, you get dropped and then you find a way to come back. And against a guy like Ilya who has that power that we've seen, I don't think he should have abandoned that game plan. I think he should have kept trying.
Yeah.
Use that size.
I wonder if him getting in that crucifix like freaked him out though too,
I,
because
I think so.
I mean they were dry, ready to go, first exchange, and Ilya had a crucifix on him within a minute. It's just kind of like what the fuck. Like we didn't even see Islam get Oliver into a crucifix like that easily, nonetheless. And yeah, I mean, I think definitely you start adding, sweat, blood. If someone gets opened up, there's definitely opportunities for people to kind of slip into certain positions. That could be helpful for either one of those guys. And yeah, I'd be curious to see on how Oliveira even approaches a rematch with Topuria. Um, because I mean, he's obviously chinny, and Topuria hits like a truck anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see a rematch between them for sure. But
Yeah, I I don't know.
I don't
And then
know either.
like you said, it's also one of those like it wasn't close. So what do you do if Oliveira does beat Armin?
Yeah.
You, you would hope that Armin wins, so you can see someone fresh go in and fight Ilya, keep it entertaining. But if Oliveira wins, then where does that put the lightweight division now?
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of the problem with I can't remember who said this the other day, but like someone had brought up that lightweight, these older guys are finally getting out of the picture and they're finally going to stop fighting only each other and start, these younger guys are actually going to start coming up the rankings finally. And, that is one thing I was actually happy about the Oliveira and Holloway rematch being booked. But at the same time, you are rebooking two guys who have been at the top of their divisions for, a couple of years now, especially with Oliveira and his lightweight run, and then Holloway just being the dude that he was at featherweight. Um, it's just I hate to be that guy, but it's kind of old. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of tired of saying or seeing the same faces over and over and over again, and it almost kind of being like a nostalgic trip or trick, I should say, for like the UFC to kind of get us fans back into those fights. Now, I'm not saying that either one of those guys are obviously out of their primes. Like they're still very well off, like in their fighting careers. They're towards the end of it for sure, compared to where they were a couple years ago. But um, I I do wish that we would see more younger fighters fight these veterans, and maybe thinking about it now, maybe the whole BSD and Poirier thing freaked out the UFC as well. They were like, well, fuck, like we can't
Yeah,
even depend on these young guys to beat these veterans.
I still think BSD was too.
He was way too green for that fight. That was terrible
Yeah,
matchmaking by the UFC. Terrible.
and they had. Dude, that's one of my all-time, from a betting perspective, favorite fights of Poirier's because they had him as like a
They
plus
had,
200 underdog or some
yeah,
shit.
yeah, that
And so I
was,
I threw so much on him, and I was like, no way,
dude.
no way he loses this.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck Vegas was thinking on that.
Yeah, it was like no way they think BSD is just gonna come in and just do that. I think it's because Poirier had just lost a big fight. I can't remember who.
Yeah, because it wasn't the Makachev fight because he's
Let's
had a
see.
title shot off the Makachev fight, right? Or off the VSD fight.
Oh, it was the Gaethje head kick.
That's what it was. I think I think people thought he was chinny then. I think people really
Yeah,
thought that like he could just get hit and be done.
it's just like no way with all the guys at the top of the division. He has been fighting and keeping it close and winning.
Yeah.
BSD is not gonna come in and
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like Poirier was looking bad in that fight either. Like that rematch was kind of going his way until it just wasn't in that second round. Like I remember him
yeah.
rocking Gaethje in that first round.
I thought I thought he was gonna win that fight.
I did. I mean, I had Gaethje
I think
winning.
he would have won the decision.
Yeah, I think if he would have lasted that long for sure. I think it would have been a way closer fight than like that first one. Because I think Gaethje would have started like kind of it would just with Trevor in his corner and shit. Some of the shit they figure out
Yeah,
mid fight is just insane. But yeah, I think that would have been a
it's an
really
insane head
really
kick.
close decision. Would have been really fun to see that go all 5 rounds. But nope, we had a Gaethje head kick.
Yeah, that was such a good head kick
Yeah,
too.
so clean. I love it. And then Herb Dean with the
It,
people's elbow.
I know,
Damn
I
it, Herb.
know. Um, yeah, I don't know. So speaking about Gaethje, we'll get back to this card here in a minute. But speaking about Gaethje, how are you feeling about his matchup with Ilya to headline the White House card? Is it headline or co?
No, that's a headline, baby. That's a
Okay,
headline. Yeah, they're doing that.
yeah,
The co-main event's the Pereira and Gon fight,
in,
which,
interim.
buddy, I am
I
am so pumped for that. That one made me smile from ear to ear and more, dude. I was
I
so happy they
me too,
announced
because
that.
that is when you think about the heavyweight and you want to see a guy become a get it, it's interim, but be a three division champion and make history, a heavyweight, that's the perfect matchup to give
Yeah,
Pereira.
yeah.
That is going to be a heavyweight kickboxing masterclass.
I'm so I smile thinking about that fight, dude. I mean, that fight is legit like what dreams are made of half the time. I mean, it's you couldn't ask for a better striking fight between two super athletic guys, especially at like what you were saying heavyweights. I mean, we were seeing 230 40-pound guys for that fight just kickboxing like they're fucking welterweights. I mean, it is going to be it's going to be beautiful.
We're
I
going to make heavyweight great again.
I hope so, dude. I mean, and speaking of Pereira, I mean, he just re-signed a 8-fight deal, so I don't know how the hell that's gonna work out with him. I
Yeah,
figured,
dude, he's like fucking 42.
yeah, I figured he'd be done like probably by the end of this year, if not next.
I
Just
thought he was going
because.
to retire for sure.
Well, I mean, and my thing too is just that like, what else do you have to really achieve here after this whole, UFC heavyweight interim belt fight? Like, because like I
He's,
personally don't think Tom is coming back until probably the end of this year, if not next year. And I think they're gonna make him vacate by that time. So the winner of this will
he's
probably get promoted. But
imagine Pereira winning. I don't know if Tom comes back, but if Pereira becomes the face of the heavyweight, he's 38 years old.
yeah,
But imagine he becomes the face of the heavyweight division for the next few years. He has to go down as
He'd be the GOAT.
one of the yeah, he would have to because how quickly he came into the UFC and took it by storm because of his whole kickboxing background with Izzy. He came in and got super fast track to fight for the title, beat him by knockout, and then of course lost the rematch, and then moved up, won the title. Okay, he lost it, came back, won it, and now he's like, okay, I'm going to heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean,
This dude has headlined so many huge events for the UFC.
you gotta love Alex Pereira. There's no way anyone doesn't at this
None of
point.
them.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's legit, and I mean honestly, I mean this 100%. If he wins that interim belt, he's seriously my GOAT. Like, I skill for skill wise, that's a whole different conversation. But I think we're talking about achievements and shit like that. Like, he's for sure the GOAT. There's no other conversation that I think needs to be had because you have your double champs. I understand that. You have John who did it. You have DC who did it. Connor who did it. Amanda who did it. But we're talking about 3 weight classes, dude.
And
We like
the fact that he
fuck.
defended all of them.
Yes. Yeah. Like you got to be shitting me. Like and I guess like the whole Adesanya rematch thing was kind of. I mean, in my opinion, I hate to be this guy, but I'm gonna die on this hill. I think that was kind of a fluke in a way. I think it was a good shot by Izzy. Don't get me wrong, but Alex was having his ass in that fucking fight, and
Yeah.
that was the only moment Izzy had. Only fucking moment. But anyways, I digress.
Well,
Um,
and then he went to light heavyweight. He defended a couple times,
yeah,
and then he lost and won it back. So he's a two-time
convincingly.
light heavyweight. Yeah. And then now he can go be a fucking heavyweight champ. Like there's no one that has a career like his in the UFC in such a small time frame also
Super
because
small time frame. Like,
he came
let's see.
he fought for the title in November of 2022 against Izzy.
That was
And here
2022.
2022 and here he is 4 years later and already went through a light heavyweight after that whole Izzy fight, took that over and now he's coming to heavyweight in 4 years.
What a move. What a fucking
And
move to come to MMA.
it's not just like his style is a fan favorite style. So that really plays into his whole mystique. Everyone loves like the whole Chama, like his calm demeanor. He looks so calm in the fights. He has that knockout power. It's just stand up. None of his fights are boring to the casual fan, which is what you want to see from a guy who's going to be a 3 division champion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, I definitely think that they built up the rest of this card well enough. I guess maybe the best their abilities. I don't know what, obviously, fighter ability or fighter availability looks like.
Well, there's a lot of speculation that it was supposed to be Ilya versus
Islam, right?
Islam, and it
See,
fell through.
I think obviously that's the high. If we had, can you imagine we had fucking Ilya
Dude,
Taporia, Islam
dude,
Makachev, Alex Pereira, and Cyril Gahn headlining and co-headlining that fucking card? Oh my god,
well,
I'd fucking end my life. I could end it there. That'd be good.
it would have been awesome because it would have been a chance for two guys to be 3 division champions in the same night. Could you imagine if
Oh,
Taporia and Alex both made history in the same night?
I didn't even think about that, dude. That would have
Yeah,
been historic.
I think that's what they were going for, but I don't think Islam wanted to be. Something happened with Islam. He either didn't want to be a part of it or couldn't or
I
some
think they
weird
said he
shit.
was injured, but I mean, who knows? It could
But
just be one of those
dude,
things. But
to have fucking two guys on the same card that could have made history like that would have been insane.
yeah, I didn't even think about it that way at all because I honestly had forgotten that Ilya had won the featherweight belt in a weird way. I don't know if I'm just trying to block out Volk getting knocked out of my head, but yeah, I
Yeah.
completely forgot that Ilya had actually won the belt at 145, and then obviously had won it at 155, and then was going to challenge it at 170, which that would have been interesting to see him at 170 at that weight. Like him blowing up that big, another 15 pounds.
No, he would have looked so small because he already looks small at lightweight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's those conversations are always interesting because it's like, okay, how much more would they gas? How much more would they get blown up? How much does their game plan really change? I mean, because that's a lot of weight. And same thing with Pereira. Like thankfully, Gon is an all around guy or anything like that. But if Pereira was kind of in that same boat, it'd be like, okay, you're going up from 205 to the guys that are fighting 30 pounds heavier than that now, and thankfully he's had that heavyweight kickboxing experience, so he knows what those big boys feel like. It's not like he's a big boy himself, but or it's not like he's not a big boy himself. Dude, I'm so pumped for that fight. Oh my god, I'm so pumped for that fight. But the rest of this card, let's look at this real quick. So Sean O'Malley versus Zahabi. Was very surprised they put that one together and on this card.
Yeah, I think I heard that Sean didn't want to fight Corey
Imagine
Sandhagen.
that. That's super unfortunate.
That's just the reports coming out. That's a lot of people that are close to the UFC um, and former fighters. I think I've heard that,
I
or
mean,
they came out and said that. So I don't know,
I believe it.
but
I mean, because Corey's the only one pulling for that fight. Sean's not.
that's a bad matchup for Sean.
It is. It is. I wish they would put it together somehow, some way.
Sean, I like Sean, but he has had the most pampered
Mm-hmm.
UFC. Um, it's all his fights pretty much. He's been pampered by the UFC, given favorable matchups besides Marab, but
I mean,
they
shit.
couldn't give him anything else.
Well, I mean, and they were hoping he would, win that fucking rematch so quick that they put him right back in there with him. It's just like, come on, dude. Like, I'm with you. I like Sean. I think he's a very fun fighter to watch. But yeah, there's that Dana White privilege. It gets
Yeah,
kind of old after a while. Then we have Ruffy and Chandler, like we were talking about earlier. Uh, I'm okay with that one. Again, I think it's a good like highlight reel opportunity for Ruffy to get something, and then kind of get his name bigger and get a bigger following and whatnot.
yeah, I think that fight's fireworks. There's gonna be no boring moment.
Yeah, because I can't imagine Chandler being like now. This is the time where he's gonna fucking want to shoot on somebody. Like this is the biggest. This is definitely the biggest fight, presentation wise. Of your career. Like, don't make it boring. Fuck it. Be Michael Chandler. Go out
Yeah,
there, make it fun.
yeah.
um, Bo Nickel and Kyle Dawkins came out of fucking
He's
5 left fields.
dude. Neither one. To be honest, neither one of these next two fights make sense to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
Yeah,
Nickel and Dawkins. First off, that's not even a main card on a regular card. I
yeah.
mean, like it doesn't make the main card on any numbered card.
You would hope not.
I feel like we know what's gonna happen there. Nickel's gonna come in and take Dawkins down, and that's that.
I think I will say this. I do think since Dawkins has come back to the UFC, I think he has looked better. Now, obviously, he has not faced like the greatest opponents, but I do think that he could give Nickel a good fight if he's, I guess, like you said, if he's able to stop those the takedown attempts from Nickel. I think Dawkins for sure could win that for a decision. I mean, maybe even go back to the same game plan that RDR had, and attack that body with those knees. And I know obviously RDR is a bit bigger than Bo Nickel, but I think that Kyle could for sure use those same ideas that RDR had for Bo. with those big knees because he's such a tall, lanky guy for middleweight.
Yeah.
And then this next one, Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. Shout out to Steve Garcia for fucking calling it, getting it. You know, props to him for fucking winning this fight in the first place. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight anyone near the level of Diego Lopez. Fuck that noise. Now, I do think Steve has a shot in a weird way, especially after the whole thing with Lopez not. I mean, because again, we've seen Lopez not move his head at all in the past like 4 fucking fights. And those were against Volk and I guess maybe the past 3 I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, he's never really moved his head in general, but he's never really had to have a whole lot of adversity. We have Volk, who's fought twice, got the shit beat out of him both times. And then you have Gene Silva, who was arguably doing really good in that second round of the stand-up, tagging him really nice, and then just got caught with a spinning elbow from Lopez. But I think Steve's stand-up is nasty enough to where he could get it, could get it done. But I think he gets hit too often to where Diego could just put him out.
I don't know how Diego keeps getting handed these fights like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, I think it's them trying to save Diego for as long as they can, and again, I think this whole chasing after the Mexican market it's gone a little too far in my opinion. I think they're a little too desperate to kind of really capture that crowd without it just coming naturally, and I understand that to a certain extent, but at the same time, like again, you're giving Diego Lopez a pretty favorable matchup here. And again, Steve just gets hit too much, I think, for this to go smoothly for him. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I like Steve Garcia. I like him a lot. And he's definitely a fucking dog. But I don't know if he can take the power of Lopez like that. Not a lot of people can. Like it's not a knock on him at all.
Yeah, they really like Lopez. They keep giving him. Because what he was on UFC 300. He was in those 2 fights with Volk back to back.
All right, no, I guess those weren't back to back. He had that Gene Silva fight in between, but I mean,
he
it
had
was
the
practically fucking back to back.
Yeah. Well, and then UFC Noche, and that
Yeah.
So just like you said, I think Lopez wins. I think a good matchup for him. Outside the top 3 fights of this White House card, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I don't know what these prelims are going to look like. I know they're not doing like a full giant card.
I think this was it. I think
It?
they were only doing these 6 fights.
What the fuck?
I honestly think that's it. Like, because
That's it.
I feel like we would have seen prelims for it now, or by now at least. I feel like we would have seen other announcements made involving the White House and whatnot. But I honestly think it's just these 6 fights.
Wow, that's pretty underwhelming, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people kind of had issues with it, because it's like, okay, the top 2, 100%, sure, fine, get it. Understanding you couldn't make Ilya and Islam, get that. Next, Justin Gaethje, obviously interim title, like you have to give it to him. Pereira and Gone, beautiful fight. O'Malley, it's a hobby. Okay, what the fuck? Ruffy and Chandler, highlight reel for Ruffy. Nickel and Dawkins, definitely what the fuck. Lopez and Garcia, semi what the fuck, but still what the fuck.
Yeah, so if this is it, it's not all they hyped it up to be. The
No.
top 3 fights are fun, but everything else, nah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
was
hoping for more.
I was expecting, yeah, especially with how secretive and how everything was going. It seemed like it was gonna be like the fight of the century. It was gonna be top to bottom guys that could headline regular fight cards or regular numbered events would be all the fights on here. Fucking all 6 champions, nothing but fucking champion fights.
Well, UFC 300 was, I mean, you have that blueprint right there. Why not just go fucking use that? Like that was, even if you just do a main card like UFC 300, you could do it. I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I don't know. But we did have a bunch of other fights announced. We'll run through these real quick because there was definitely a bunch of them. But I guess the big ones were Aljo. He has a fight now against what's that guy's name? Zalal. So that'll be interesting. I'm hoping Aljo wins that, but I think Zalal could just probably keep it on the feet and just kind of pick around him for 5 rounds. I don't really see that going anywhere really.
Yeah. I think it'll be. I think it's a good fight for Zalal. I think Sterling's just. If he can't get the grappling game, he has nothing,
Yeah, and it's not like
especially
Zalal's
now in his
grappling game
career.
isn't a joke either.
Yeah.
That's a tough fight for Aljo. But I feel like most fights right now are tough for Aljo. Like his stand up just hasn't really ever evolved as much as it probably should have, and it's I think it's just starting to really hurt him now. Um, Hamzat and Strickland got announced. How do you feel about that one?
I love that fight.
Me
I'm pumped for
too.
that fight. I think it has a storyline to it. They've trained together, they have beef. It just makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah,
I think if Sean can stop the takedowns, which he has pretty good takedown defense, and it forces Hamza to strike, could be a fun fight. Will he stop the takedowns? Highly unlikely, but there's always that what if, and I mean everyone always counts Sean out, and he always figures out a way.
yeah. It was honestly impressive to see the amount of people that were blinding their predictions for the Strickland and Hernandez fight, because of what Sean had said and other things that Sean had said in the past. They were like, well, I really fucking hate this guy, so I think he's going to lose. That's
Yeah,
legit
dude.
what I saw for most of those predictions. And I was like, guys,
Most
come on. You guys have to fucking keep it together. Like, you guys are giving prediction videos out for people who are doing sports betting and shit like that. And I understand that, we're not all fucking professionals and we all don't, that's not our fucking problem. But at the end of the day, but at the same time, like, give an honest prediction, dude. Like, Sean's teeps were going to be a problem. The cardio was going to be even. It was going to be a close fight, and people really didn't want to admit that. I feel like with the hate they had for Strickland, it's
yeah.
different if people were coming in like, yeah, I really think Hernandez has this skill over this skill over this skill over this skill, but instead it's like, I fucking hate Sean Strickland. I hope he loses. It's like, come on, people.
Yeah. Th- there was so much of that, and then there was a lot of people that I talked to that were like saying how because I was like, man, I'm excited for this fight. Like I feel like it'll be fireworks. I think
Hmm.
it's gonna be an entertaining fight. And they're like, Sean Strickland? No, that he always has boring fights. It's gonna be boring. It's gonna be a bunch of just jabs and standing there, boring. And I was like, nah, dude, it's gonna be boring or it's gonna be fun. And I think this fight could end in a finish. And they're like, Sean Strickland ended in a finish? No way.
Yeah,
And
it's
what did he do? Dude,
it was
that was
so
a
good.
good fight, good game plan. He finished him. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a good fight.
No, I definitely did too. And I thought Sean's performance was definitely a complete 180 from that Dricus rematch. And I feel like that's the thing with Strickland too, is that his fights can be boring for sure. Like I feel like no one can deny that 100%. And the problem though is that I feel like people think his fights are boring is because his opponents can't figure out what the fuck to do back to him. You know, it's just one of those things. Like it's like Izzy, for example. I thought Izzy was a pretty boring fighter for most of his fights, and because all he would do is kind of just calf kick, jab, body punch, and circle around. I get it. It works. You win. Great. Right. But it's the same thing with Sean, except he's the one putting the pressure on and people still can't figure it out. It's just one of those styles that people have a tough time reading and don't know how to react to it because they don't get hit with some shit. And um, going back to the Hamzat fight, though, I do wonder if Hamzat is going to take that Oliveira approach and try to just pick up and muscle Sean around. But the flip side of that is, I wonder how the cardio will be then.
Yeah, because if Sean does stop those takedowns, then Hamzat's cardio, we've seen it can be bad at times.
Yeah.
And if you gas against Sean, like his gas tank is, it seems like unlimited. He will keep pressing forward, and I think in this fight, if he can get some of those knees and leaps to the body without getting taken down on Hamzat and drain that cardio even more, I think it could make for a fun fight.
Yeah.
But that all depends on if he can stop the takedown, because we've seen time and time again Hamzat just takes guys down.
Yeah. He's got the strength to muscle him down for sure. And I guess, again, like, my only question is just how, like, if he does go that route, can he really do that for all 5 rounds? And if Sean is getting up and having to do that over and over and over again, I understand he could be winning the fight doing that, and by the 3rd round, Sean's like needing a finish. But I mean, he could get a finish if Hamzat's tired in those last 2 rounds. That dude knows how to fucking push a pace, and
And
if
if
Hamzat could be fucked.
yeah, if it goes anything like it did in that Gilbert Burns fight with Hamzat,
Yeah.
Sean would push that pace even more, and especially in a 5 round fight.
Yeah.
Because we've seen where Hamzat goes to the end of the 1st round and he's dead.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
puffing and puffing, dude. It's like, calm down, bro. Like, you still have another 2
yeah
rounds to go.
after that first burst, if he doesn't finish, then he gets tired. And I think personally, I think that's what Sean has seen in their training,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's why he's so confident that he can win this fight. Because all he has to do is survive those takedowns for a little bit. Even if it's 1 round of just getting fucked up in chaos, maybe 2. If you survive that, you can flip that script.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'm really
But
interested in that fight.
but that's if he can survive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how that fight goes.
That's a big if.
Huge if. Our former champ Bilal is back against one of the Bonfim brothers. I was about to say Bonfire brothers. Holy shit. Yeah, Bonfim brothers.
Yep.
So I think Bilal wins that. I think Bonfim has had some questionable stuff happen to him lately. I obviously, like, the Randy Brown win is a little different, but I think some of his wins after or before that were a little iffy, and I think Bilal can kind of just push that pace on him, just like he kind of was before or like he did before he was champion, and really just kind of smother him. I don't think Bonfim can keep up with him.
I think yeah, I think this is a good fight for Bilal.
Mm-hmm.
I just I just don't personally get the matchup.
Yeah, I don't
It's
either for sure.
I feel like this is one of those fights that did come out of left field, especially with, like, me and you talked about some of the fights that you could have made with Bilal. Like, specifically, I really wanted to see Bilal versus Usman. I thought that was the
Yeah.
fight to make.
Well,
And the fact that UFC and Bilal went this route was kind of weird to me.
and it maybe just be an Usman thing, like with the whole Islam and Ilya thing. Like, Usman may just maybe been like,
Maybe.
I'm good, or I'm injured right now and can't make the fight. If Bilal wants to fight, get him another fight. It is maybe one of those things. But I'm with you. I'm surprised they didn't even seem like they tried to make the Bilal and Usman fight. But who knows? We don't work for the UFC.
Yeah, which I did sometimes.
I wish I did sometimes, for sure.
Because I feel like they don't take into account what the fans want.
Yeah. Yeah, they've definitely lost some touch for sure. But they're trying to get those Chinese fans back again. Min Yang is fighting Alonzo Minifield. That should be a good win for him. He should beat Minifield. I know that Walker fight was kind of an upset with him losing that. But I don't know. Sometimes those up and comers are a little tricky, and those vets know just enough to get past them.
Yeah.
Let's see who else was made. Oh, we had Teixeira and Pavlovich.
I think that'll be a fun fight. I think that's winnable for Pavlovich. I think that,
100%.
and if he can't win that fight, then
The fall off is crazy.
yeah, you need to. He was all hype for no reason because everything that I've seen from Teixeira is you're just tall.
Yeah, deadass. That's all it is. I mean, it's that, and I have a fucking teep that I can throw. Okay, whoop de doo, buddy. You know, I Pavlovich for sure can get around that. I think it's just, dude, his aggression since that Aspinall fight has gone down tremendously, and it's insane to see what a knockout will do to somebody like that. I mean, especially with the way he was handing him out left and right. You know, you
I
have
know.
him doing that, and then him taking one and be like, he's like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude. It's like you're one of the hardest hitting heavyweights right now. You go out there and fucking nuke some people, god damn it. But yeah, that's definitely a winnable fight for Pavlovich. If he doesn't win that, I'm with you. It's kind of like, all right, you need to reevaluate deep. Arnold Allen is actually staying active against Costa. That's going to be a really good main event. I am pumped for that one.
That's gonna be a good one. Costa has surprisingly like I don't know, just I wasn't he was one of those guys I just wasn't a fan of his style to start, and he wasn't super exciting.
Yeah.
And then his last couple fights, man, he's just really come into it.
Yeah, he's really turned it on. And I'm trying to think of the other fighter that was kind of like that, where we were, fucking that heavyweight, Waldo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Waldo.
where his style wasn't necessarily the most entertaining in the beginning, and he wasn't winning in the most convincing fashion either. I think even Costa dropped a few early on in his UFC career. But yeah, I'm glad to see him bounce back the way he has and get the wins that he has, and I think this is a solid step up in competition for him. That's gonna be a
And
really fun technical fight.
to be able to come in and hand Dan Ige his first KO loss of his career.
Especially in that way. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Thought I was watching fucking Uriah Hall and Musasi again.
And then before that fight, he fought someone who's not a slouch in fuck, I don't know how to say his last name. Shashiri?
Oh yeah. Or Chaudier. I think that's how you say it, or something like that. Like,
Ah, dude, yeah.
yeah, it's fucking French.
Yeah, the French shit. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's not a slouch either.
No, I mean, and I think that was like one of the first times he got knocked out too. So the power is real with this guy, and especially in his legs apparently. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping
you
my
just
boy
didn't
Arnold doesn't
see
get
it.
knocked out.
You just didn't see it in the first couple fights in his UFC career, but yeah, yeah.
If I remember correctly,
He's
he
got
was
some
kind of
power.
grapple heavy.
Yeah, he was.
So
Let's see. Well,
I'm excited to give him
he
this fight. Yeah.
lost by KO to Garcia, and then he had
Oh.
two submission victories, one against Philly, two decisions against Christian Rodriguez and Arosa, and two KOs. So I mean, I guess he's got kind of an all-around game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad he's getting more attention then because, you know, I remember seeing him first pop on to the UFC and stuff, and he looked great, you know. But again, he just wasn't the most entertaining, and so it took a while for those fans to, I guess, to kind of take notice. But he's built himself. Oh my God, he's built himself up really nicely into this featherweight division, and I'm excited to see where he goes, especially after this Arnold Allen fight.
Yeah.
And then Song Yadong is already back, ready to go against Davison Figueiredo.
Uh,
Song
I
should win
think
that.
that's a bad fight for Figueroa. Yeah.
Yeah. Song should
I think that's
definitely
an
win that.
easy bounce back fight for Song.
Well, I mean, if I'm the UFC, that's my goal. I mean, I'm hoping Song gets this back. If he doesn't, I'm kind of like, dude, what the fuck? I understand losing to O'Malley. I understand losing to some of these other Peter Yan and stuff like that. But we're talking about an aging Figgy. Come on, you should be able to finish this fight. Not even win, but finish. You should be able to finish him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Especially in this state of Iggy's career, he's looked kind of
Yeah.
a shell of who he was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I know we talked about this an episode or two ago, but with Figgy, moving up to 135, I think it was just too late. I think that the wear and tear from 125 it kind of finally just kind of caught up to him, and he just wasn't able to really bounce back to his championship ways at 135 because of that. But Father Age or Father Time, whatever they fucking say, is undefeated.
Yeah, it really is.
And then we have Benil Dariush fighting Salkid. Rip Benil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the worst replacement they could have gotten for him. I mean, Torres for sure could have won that easily, but I mean, we're talking about Salkid, dude. This guy's just been fucking an animal this past couple fights. I mean, he's only going to look to make a bigger name for himself off of Benil.
Yep. Benil, that's a tough fight for Benil.
Super tough, especially with how
And
chin he is
I
now.
think that's gonna end in a finish.
Yeah. That could end
And then
just as quick as the BSD fight.
yeah. That would yeah. Yeah, that's not good for Benil.
No, not at all, dude. That's a
I keep
terrible
trying to find
matchup.
keep trying to find words for well, but I
Nah,
can't find any words.
there's no buts for Benil in this one. Unfortunately, he's going out cold.
It's crazy because Benil was up there in idle talks, and then
Yeah,
he just
he kind of got
fell
fucked
off.
over. Honestly, I mean, looking back at it, he kind of got fucked over, but I feel like at the same time he should have probably taken certain fights over others or waited. Um, but
Yeah,
he's one of the few though that's a dog. He's gonna fight
he was
anyone.
game.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta definitely respect that to a certain extent.
But he's the definition of being game sometimes always doesn't work out in your favor.
Exactly. Yeah.
'Cause you could be game, but kind of be smart with your game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially at the time he was up there, there were, I mean, the lightweight was just full of fucking dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of felt bad for him when he started kind of falling off a little bit, or I guess the way he's falling off right now. It just is what it is, though. Part of the game, especially with these
Yep.
smaller divisions and the older guys. But speaking of two older guys about to bang it out again, Bobby Green and Jeremy
Yeah.
Stevens. I keep thinking
Give me
Jeremy
Bobby
Stevens
Green.
fucking retires. Am I wrong?
He did,
Okay.
didn't he? And then he came back.
I guess so. I guess he's come back like 3 times now because he had that one fight in Iowa against that kid and he lost. And he only did that because that was in Des Moines.
Well, didn't
And
he go to bare knuckle for a
yeah,
little bit?
he
He
was
was,
doing bare knuckle for a bit for sure. I
and
think
then
he
he
fought Chad
came back and
Mendes.
fought. Yeah, so he was out for about 3 years, and then came back and fought Mason Jones last year.
That's who it was. Yeah. Yeah. And I thought he said that was going to be his last MMA fight, his last UFC fight and everything, but
Dude, he needs. Looking at his looking at his record, he has to leave.
he
His fight
has
history here.
yeah, I'm surprised they're still keeping him
Hold
around.
on.
I mean, this is I like these old veteran fights, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But I'm surprised they're keeping someone like Jeremy Stevens around for as long as they have.
Okay, he has one fight in since 2018 that he won,
Holy shit.
which is one, two,
Including bare knuckle and all that?
three. No, no, no. This is
Oh,
just
okay.
UFC.
Oh, okay, okay,
Two,
okay.
three, 6.
Oh God.
So when it's past 9 fights, 1 for 9 in his
Oh,
last 9 fights, dating back to
what the
his fight with
Yair?
it was Jose Aldo in
Ah,
2018,
that's
and then
crazy. Because I even
the fight
remember that knockout or that body punch and everything. Like that's crazy.
the
That
fight he won. Yeah, the fight he won before that was Josh Emmett in 2018.
that was a nasty knockout. Oh, that was bad. But that's crazy. That's actually his last his last win, dude.
And then
Holy
he goes win,
shit!
win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss.
Wow.
Yeah, so why do they keep
It might
bringing
be
him
time,
back?
Jeremy.
I see Bobby Green winning this.
Yeah, he should. Because like he moves
You're looking
around
at
way better than Jeremy does.
you're looking at the hardest hitting 155er.
Oh,
He's
Jeremy.
like, who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck? Oh,
All time
iconic.
moment.
Love it. Two more fights I do want to look at real quick. Kyler Phillips and Charles Jourdain. I'm actually excited for that fight. I think that's gonna be a really solid technical fight. Um, I think Kyler has that. As much as I am a Jourdain fan, I do think that
Yeah,
Kyler has that. But I'm hoping Jourdain wins that. I think that's gonna be a really good fight.
I think it's fun for sure.
And
I
then
agree. I agree with that Kyler pick.
he,
Jordan is entertaining, but
he's too much of a hit and miss for
he's
me.
not much of a winner. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm glad he moved down. But and he's looked good at 135. Like he's looked better, but again, I think it's just kind of like you get to a certain level. I don't know if he's gonna be able to handle all that striking. Now, I will say that I think that if Kyler gasses out, Jordan has a chance to definitely come on heavy in that third, maybe even late in the second. But I do think that Kyler could still do just enough to get to a decision win. And then the most random rematch, in my opinion, Blahoskev and Guskov is back on
I,
again after their
I think that's
draw.
a fun fight
Yeah.
if they can kind of work out the kinks of what happened last time. Hopefully, it's not like that because if I recall, it was kind of slow.
Yeah, it was kind of, if I remember correctly, too, it was Blahovic wrestling majority of that first round, and then the stand up kind of being hesitant from both parties for that second and third, I think. But I do remember going back and thinking Blahovic won that. I'll have to go back and rewatch that fight again, even though I really don't fucking want to. Um, I do think
Yeah,
I do think Blahovic had won that first one. I think he could definitely win the rematch here. I think just that veteran mind of his is still pretty sharp for
yeah,
his age and everything, and even his body hasn't looked that bad after the shoulder surgeries, after the couple of losses he's gone through, even those couple of wars and stuff. But yeah, I mean, a super random rematch. I did not think that was going to get made again.
yeah. Me neither.
It's kind of like a what the fuck, but yeah, whatever. We'll take it. I'm a Blowich fan. I'll take it as long as I can. You know what I mean? I thought we were gonna lose Jan for a bit with the shoulder surgeries and stuff. I thought he was gonna have to retire from that,
Hope not.
but yeah, thankfully not.
Oh, I don't see much of a career. I don't know how he's one of those older guys too. Like, how much longer does he have? He's
Yeah,
43. Like, how long are you sticking around, brother?
yeah. I mean, and I was also kind of on the fence with with him like coming back, only because of that too. Like he's older. It's not like these divisions are kind of been favorable to these older guys right now. And It's not like Guskov is a young guy though. You know, I think that's what kind of helps out Blachowicz in this one. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd imagine we'll probably see him retire at the end of this year. If he doesn't win this, I think he retires that night. Unless it's like super close or some shit. Because I was thinking if he was going to lose to Guskov in that first fight, that he probably would have retired as well. But then they were like, draw. It was like, son of a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
this poor guy has gone through so many fucking draws and splits and shit. Like, it's just one of those things. Kind of feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, he's had
just,
a
fuck. Damn it, Jan.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, solid fights announced. I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised with the quality of the White House card, some of the rematches that were made. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just see kind of how everything works out. With some of the matchmaking coming up, because again, I just think some of the calls UFC's making, me as a fan, I'm like, why are y'all putting that together? That doesn't make any sense, even from like entertainment aspects. Like, I don't understand half these fights.
Yeah, I don't either. Um, I feel like they're not giving us the fights that we want to see, but
And I don't know why that is. I don't know if they're not, it could just go back to the whole fighter pay thing to where they're not paying the fighters enough and
well,
no one
see,
wants to fight for
they
their shit.
can.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's just
that's the frustrating part, is that they can't pay these fighters.
I think it's just that they let the fighters have too much leverage in yes or no or how long they sit out.
Yeah.
I don't.
I wonder if they'll ever go away from doing independent contractors and go more towards like an actual roster, I guess, kind of like the WWE does.
I I think I think this also is a problem with having so many fighters from like the contender series just flooding the UFC
Yeah.
because gives the UFC like, okay, we don't have to book all these fights. We can just fill it in with these guys.
Or I mean, and this goes back to the whole thing, even with like the fighters union and stuff. You have all these fighters that are like, well, I'm willing to sit out and wait for a better pay, but the problem is, I'm fighter A and fighter B is willing to go fight for even less than what they're offering me, and they're okay with that because he's just as entertaining or just as valuable or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? And because fighter B doesn't see that his value is higher than it should be, fighter A gets kind of fucked over and can't make as much money as they should or as they want to. And again, I feel like that's kind of why they haven't gone away from the independent contractors, because they're willing to, who has the best price? Like, who are we going to be able to really? It's not like who they can't afford, but it's more of like, who do we want to pay and how do we budget this the best we can, rather than spending everything we just fucking earned on these fighters' pay. Now, again, I'm definitely on the side of the fighters. I think they should be getting paid way more than they should. And this whole Conor Ben thing was definitely a big talking point with a lot of the MMA fighters, where they were like, why the fuck is this guy getting paid so much money and we're not? And even some of the champions were getting upset, it seemed like.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, this whole Zuffa boxing thing, it seems like it's had more negative attention than positive.
Yeah, I don't know what the UFC expected to accomplish with that.
Yeah.
And you had to have known like it was gonna piss some guys off. You can't be that blind.
Yeah, I mean, and again, if I feel like if I'm Dana, I'm being like, okay, guys, look, I'm handing the UFC matchmaking and most of my responsibilities over to you, Mick, and over to who's the other fucking guy? I know it's Mick and totally drawing a fucking blank right now. But anyways,
Oh, Hunter Campbell.
yes, thank you. I'm handing it off to them. I'm having them do a lot of this shit, and even Dan is in that, admitted in that live stream with Nina. He was like, I'm not even fucking involved with matchmaking much anymore. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
dude, why the fuck are you still here then? Go hand this shit off already then. Like, what's your problem?
I think that he also needs to like let the fighters know because I'm pretty sure the Zuffa boxing thing, the money isn't coming from the UFC, like how they can pay the fighters.
Yeah.
It, if I'm under the right impression, it's coming from, and I'm probably gonna butcher his name, Turkey,
Oh, that Prince.
Tur- Turkey Alashik or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I said it right. He is pretty much funding the boxing side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
and I guess like I don't know. I feel like if I'm a fighter, I'm like, okay, why couldn't you maybe also argue a deal for us UFC fighters, considering that they go over there quite a bit already too. You know what I mean? I guess it's not like an
yeah,
unknown market for the UFC, like over there in the Middle East and stuff like that. Like they've gone plenty of times over there in the past fucking
yeah.
5 years, 5, 6 years
I
now.
think they gotta. I think they just gotta understand that power slap, Zuffa
Fucking power slap.
boxing, UFC are all in different brackets of, and it's not the same paycheck going to the same thing. Maybe power slap and UFC
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Zuffa
they're
boxing
all like different
and
entities.
yeah, they're different entities with different money coming from different places because it's like the TKO boxing group in Turkey paying for the boxing side of things.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. No, I definitely understand that that side of it.
They find more money. Yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's just that's such a weird position to be in if I'm Dana. But
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. But at the same time, you did it to yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Um, but that's pretty much all I had.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had too, man. Yeah, definitely just some solid fight announcements, some weird ones, some just fucking off the wall ones. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
but yeah, I'm pumped for the White House card. I'm excited to see the presentation for it more than anything right now. Outside of the co-main and main event, but especially that co-main event. God damn, I'm gonna be dreaming about that shit until it fucking arrives. Um, yeah, I don't know. The UFC's kind of in a weird place. The fight nights haven't been too bad, thankfully. Recently, I feel like they've been decently like entertaining. They haven't been
Yeah.
duds like some of the ones we had last year at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I feel like the matchmaking has been shitty, but the fight quality has been really good, if that makes sense. Like they're not giving us the names that we want to see,
Yeah.
but the fights are turning out pretty damn good.
Well, and
Like
I guess like the thing is it's not even like the names they're not giving us; it's the promotion they're not giving us. You know what I mean? Like
that too.
I don't know who half these fucking fighters are, and I watch the
Yeah.
sport. You know what I mean? Like you guys have to give me some more promotion on who these guys are. Like I don't want to have to go out of my way to go look at their TikTok, to go look at their Instagram, to go look at their Facebook page.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go out of my fucking way to go look at what these guys are up to. Like that's y'all's job as a billion-dollar company to
I
go
know.
look promote his footage. It's not that hard. It's not.
I thought that so last two things, like I thought the promotion part would get way better with Paramount,
Yeah.
and it has while we're watching the event, they put out some little badass like promos and you know videos. I think how they do it is cool and different, but that's it. They only do it during the event.
Yeah.
And two, how many fight nights events are we gonna watch? Paramount has some type of technical issue.
Dude. When That went out during the main event. I was about to fucking crash out because it's like, okay, I understand this for a commercial break. I understand this for prelims. I understand this for just about any other situation outside of a main card fight. By main card, you should have your shit together. You should have your shit running smoothly. You should be ready to go. No issues unless some fucking meteor comes out of the sky. And
It's happened on multiple events.
yeah, that's
Like
it's
this last event, did you see that one?
no, I
The
didn't
sound went
see.
out for
Oh,
sound
no
went out for
way.
like almost a whole round, and like the finishing sequence happened with no sound.
So I don't know if it's the UFC being mixed in with Paramount's production crew now, or if it's just been purely taken over by Paramount's production crew, like in terms of like the broadcasting and stuff like that. But there seems to be some sort of um, for lack of a better word, unfamiliarity with how to do a broadcast. I don't know on how to really put this because we saw it right off the bat with the first event to where the audio from the broadcast desk was being played while like their mics
Yeah,
were on while the fucking video package is playing in the arena. And there's no music or sound for the video package, but I can hear it playing through the arena through their mics. And then they fix it fucking halfway through finally. And then, we have the
yeah.
sound issues that you were mentioning. We have the cameras cut out. We have commercials kind of acting weird every now and then too. We have transitions looking weird. Like, I don't know if this was just too much that they bit off for Paramount and their like production crew, or if it's really this is just a string of bad luck and someone fucking pissed on an Indian burial site. I don't know, some shit like that. Something's going wrong behind the scenes too frequently to where it's not something that it can't be brought up now.
Well, we're 3 months in and we're still having this issue
Exactly. It's like,
every event.
come on, guys. Like, you guys have something damn near every weekend, and you guys still haven't figured out super simple issues. Like, I'm sure that a lot of people in the tech world could go in there and be like, yeah, probably turn this off, probably turn this off, turn this on. Let's change this graphic. Let's change this transition. And you're set. It's,
Well,
I feel like people overcomplicate the fuck out of that job sometimes. And it's not too crazy. It's really not.
I know, yeah. And I guess like you knew there would be, you knew that there'd be some like transition issues with a company like Paramount who isn't used to hosting live events.
Hmm.
But
But this
fuck,
is,
man, 3 months in, you would think you'd figure it out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Again, I really thought they were going to go with Netflix, and I guess
Wish
we'll
they would have. I think it would have blew the sport up way more.
way more. And I guess like the thing
Oh,
too with Netflix is that they've done those big enough events, like the Tyson and Paul fight, some
yeah.
of the other boxing fights like Serrano fight and stuff that they've done. They've handled that big of an audience before. Now it's a bit different than a whole UFC card and stuff like that, and there's probably a little bit more that goes into that. But I I really think Netflix could have handled it, and I really think that Paramount has not necessarily dropped the ball. I think they're just kind of having butterfingers right now, and kind of just like
Yeah.
fumbling it around in their hands a little bit, trying to figure out how to hold it. And it's not been that fun as a UFC fan to watch online or like just through their app and stuff like that. Like their app kind of crashes on me a little bit more now. Like I tried watching the multiple angles for this past card for a couple of the fights, and they were on a commercial break during the fight, and I was like, I think the in between rounds is over now. And I went to go check the normal broadcast, and they were in the middle of the fucking round. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll just go fuck myself. I just missed off on half that round because of a stupid ass fucking transition error that you guys didn't fix for whatever reason. Like, it's just,
Yeah, I think that happened in
Oh, it's
Happened
just
to me.
simple stuff.
I had to exit out and go back, and I was like, oh, it's in the fight already.
Yeah, I was like, I hate that shit. It's like, come on, guys. Like, you guys, again, these are billion-dollar companies that are fucking up this easily. Like, there's got to be better
Yeah,
solutions for this shit. Come on.
especially when it's on a pay-per-view or a numbered
Yes.
event when everyone's watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
I just
la-
I don't give excuses for fuck ups like that.
one last thing, I swear. The because you brought up Netflix. Have you seen?
Oh,
I know we talked kind of about the um Ronda and Carano fight, and then the Nagano and Lynn's fight. But did you see who they added? It was either
Mike
today or
Perry
yesterday.
and Nate Diaz.
Yeah. To
Yeah,
be honest, whoever like I know these are kind of older fighters out of their prime by a long shot. Whoever is trying to run this Netflix event, not doing bad.
not doing that bad. I mean, I'm with you. I think like the older names are. It kind of sucks in a way, like, but I do think that being able to bring back Ronda is kind of big. Being able to get Mike Perry and Nate Diaz to like actually reach an MMA fight is pretty wild. Um,
Yeah.
you know, we do have to give them props, and for getting Francis. I mean, hopefully Francis shows up.
I mean,
First of all, imagine he doesn't, but
yeah, yeah.
he just flakes on him.
And I think this is just the start of it. I think they're going to get more people.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a message from Netflix to other sports organizations to being like, hey, we're really not fucking around here, especially with the whole WWE merge that they've taken on. You know, they've done tremendous with that. And I think it again. That's why I was surprised why the UFC didn't go with them. For one, you know they're both partnered with TKO or owned by TKO,
No.
and then you have WWE already on Netflix, and that's already a TKO company. So why not add the other TKO company on Netflix and have that broadcast be as smooth as that broadcast is? You know, it's I don't know, man. I feel like the UFC may have dropped the ball on negotiating with Netflix.
I think they did.
Because again, I can't remember the exact reason why they said no, because I think it had something to do with Contender Series. And I feel like if I mean, again, Contender Series isn't until the summer. You have all this time to like smooch on them, to work on them, to get them to be like, okay, fine, we'll give Contender Series a shot this summer or some shit. You know what I mean? And see how it does. Like, I think you definitely could have given yourself time to pucker up to them and change their mind at some point. Um, but instead, I think that they really wanted everything on one thing, and Paramount was the only place willing to do that. And I think, again, I think this is Paramount's first big major sport to like really be covering the way that they are. Besides,
I
you know, like
think
outside of
so.
their like live TV
Soccer.
feature thing, yeah.
They have soccer and stuff, but
I mean, how much do you really get involved in a broadcast with soccer? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we're talking fucking watching the field literally the whole time, compared to the UFC,
Yeah.
to where we're having to worry about different camera angles, different transitions, different stats, different. I mean, shit. Even the broadcast team for the UFC is a little more in depth than like a soccer broadcast. And no disrespect to soccer or anything like that, but you know, there's different aspects to each sport. You know, it's not anything insulting. It's just one of those things. Like, there's a little bit more to it from a broadcasting standpoint for a UFC event than there is for a couple other sports. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think that the UFC kind of dropped the ball with Netflix, or if Netflix dropped the ball with the UFC, either way.
I was really hoping they went with Netflix. I think it would have blew up the sport even more, and then I think the promotion would have been a little bit better. And
Yeah,
everyone in the world has Netflix. Like,
everyone.
perfect place to be if you're trying to grow. And like you said, already partnered with TKO and whatnot.
Yeah,
But back to this other card that Netflix is hosting,
yeah,
I think Netflix is doing a better job of promoting these fights than the UFC has done in a very long time.
yeah, hundred
And
percent.
these were only put together like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely getting hyped for that card, and I mean and they should. You know they worked their asses off to put that together. It seems like, and For them to really be going all in on this, especially in MMA, like
Yeah.
that's where I'm kind of like, okay, are you guys going to be trying to become another PFL? Because if that's the case, y'all have the money for it. Like
Yeah.
y'all easily could. It,
Could you imagine they take it over
okay, I was
midway
just
the
about to say that.
season?
I was just about to say that, dude. Like, can you imagine if Netflix was going over to PFL and being like, hey, look, we'll buy y'all out. We'll take care of everything. We're going to pay the fighters well. We're just going to get y'all on Netflix. We're going to get y'all situated. We're going to boom y'all like crazy. If I'm PFL, I'm going, where do I fucking sign? Where do I fucking sign?
Get,
Because give
I
me
guarantee
all of,
they could get fighters.
oh, they probably do. But the if I'm Netflix, I'm going, look, you have all these Bellator, all these PFL champions, all of these big names, vets, everything that you guys have going for y'all, and y'all aren't using them for shit because y'all can't afford them. It is what it is. It happens. Let us take over and let us help you. And I bet you they could blow up the PFL to an actual competition for the UFC, especially if they're able to pay the fighters the way that some of those fighters need to be paid.
All they would have to do is sway some of the guys from the UFC to come over.
Yeah.
One champion or something over.
Well, I mean, shit, they definitely could with the way they're getting Francis. Like, if Francis is
I
fighting
know.
for him, he's getting a bag because that guy is fucking
Yeah.
greedy.
And then Ronda is doing her little press tours and shit, talking mad shit about the UFC.
Yeah. I mean, this could work out really well for Netflix.
I would when is that fight?
I think it's in May. I could be wrong.
Okay, so not too far away. Hopefully they put together a little bit more on the card. I'd be interested to see who else they could get.
Yeah, let's take a look at it real quick because see Netflix MMA card. So, right now that is not the bout order. Thanks a lot. Here we go. So it's Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano, obviously,
Yep.
and then we
Which is such a
have
weird headline.
super weird. I feel like if they would have made the Francis fight first, they would have had him up there.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I don't know if this is the correct order or not, but this is the order that this website's saying. It's going to be Ronda and Gina, and then it's going to be Nate and Mike, and then it's going to be
Ooh.
Francis and Felipe opening up.
Okay. Interesting.
Very. I think
I mean
that's
that
definitely the right order, though, in my opinion.
I don't know that Ronda and Gina fight would have been cool 12 years ago.
No. Okay, 100% I agree with you with that. But I feel like the way that they've built this card, especially with, I guess, Ronda and
Yeah.
Gina getting on it first and them being the people that they're building it around, obviously that's got to be the headline. And I think that you open up with Francis is genius. I think that's what you do. I don't think you open up with
Yeah.
Nate and Mike just in case that's actually looking like two old guys going at it. Because Francis for sure getting a knockout
No,
in that
dude.
first round.
I favor Mike in that because we got the bare knuckle champion right now.
Yeah, no, I
He's still
definitely
been in
favor
it.
Mike in that. But I'm hoping Mike's because he didn't look all that. I'm just gonna be honest here. He didn't look all that great in that Jake Paul fight, and I didn't think he was moving around all that great. And that's the only thing that kind of worries me is that I think he's starting to slow down a little bit from all that damage. I think this is a great fight though for both of
Yeah, but
those.
dude, Nate Diaz can't even talk.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. It's getting really bad, like really really bad.
Yeah, it's concerning. How are they?
Yeah,
What athletic commission is still letting him fight?
yeah, yeah. That's a really good question. I guess
His
whichever
brain,
one's
his brain
making
needs
it.
to be studied.
Oh, dude, can you imagine how that shit's gonna look if they cut him open? That thing's gonna be a straight up fucking pile of pudding.
Yeah, I forget what interview it was or something that I was listening to, and I was like, I can't
I can't even
understand
understand him.
anything that he's
Yeah,
saying.
it's legit just slurring. Feel bad for
And
the
it's been
guy.
that way for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's like fuck, man. It's like I don't know why you would want to do that to yourself.
It's because of their gym. They've always believed in hard sparring.
Yeah, that's true. I never understood that.
Yeah, me neither. It's
I
the old mentality of MMA though.
yeah, like I get it to a certain extent to like get you ready for like a fight mode, or like to I guess to feel like what a fight would be like. But I guess that's more of like fight simulation than hard sparring.
Yeah.
But what the fuck do I know? I'm just a fucking guy who sits here on a computer and talks. But anything else that you would like to add for this episode, my good sir?
No, I think we covered everything.
I think so too. Well, I'm definitely pumped for some of these fights coming up. Definitely interested to see on how this whole Netflix card works out. We'll definitely talk before then. We'll get an episode out there, but yeah, yeah, I appreciate everyone listening in. Again, sorry for the little hiatus we had. Just life gets in the way sometimes. But nothing wrong with that. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Hope everyone is having a good year so far. Hope everyone is having not too many complaints with Paramount. But it is what it is. People mess up and broadcasts mess up and things happen. So hopefully it's something fixed down the road. Let us know what fight you guys are most excited about coming up, because there's definitely a bunch that we are. Again, just kind of super interested to see on what you guys are thinking. But Devin, any last closing remarks?
Uh, no,
Sounds good.
no, no, just looking forward to some of the fights coming up. About it. Uh, we have what's the next big one coming up? Let me see.
Next,
Oh, we got Evloev Murphy. We'll see if they stay
yes.
if that sticks together. But
Hopefully that does. I do want to say this real quick about that fight. I do think that if Lev wins that, kind of easier than people may think. I think that Avoid is just going to
yeah,
be able to wrestle Murphy pretty bad. I mean,
yep.
Murphy was getting wrestled by Amir Khani back then, like easily. And I don't think it's really changed a whole lot on this. He's just been going absolute demon mode in that gym with his grappling, but I don't think he has. I think it's been more stand up work and clinch work than anything. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a really fun fight necessarily either.
No, no, it's gonna be pretty boring.
Yeah, but
Um,
we'll see. It's a good card though. I mean, they had some solid fights on that one. I definitely recommend for those listening to go
Michael
check
Van
out that
Page.
card. Yeah, I mean, some solid fighters on there, solid fights. Um, Definitely recommend go check that out if you guys are listening and want to look at that card in the future. We'll be talking about that one here coming up.
Yep.
But
Other than that, no, I don't have anything.
sounds good. Me neither. Then we'll end it here. I hope everyone had a good day wherever you're listening to this. I hope everything's all good, and we will catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you.